How's it going, guys? It's me, the Cool Loser. This is the first generation and the second generation Nexus 7. 720p, 1080p, and if it's worthy of an upgrade. And as you see in the back right away, I'm just going to get into it. It is a golf ball textured, grippier, and fatty backing. And here, it's actually more of a matte black, smooth, slippery surface with the Nexus logo that you can feel. This one is embossed where it's inside. So as I pick this up, you will see real quickly. Let's zoom in and you will see the texture to it. And we'll see the texture to this one. As you see, it's smoother. It does look better, but it does make it a disadvantage where it feels slippery if you're holding it. Now the second part is we see that the buttons are a little bit as in more glossy, and this is more matted instead of being a matte finish like this. But the buttons are very similar. They're just a little bit lower, spaced out. And you see that this one has a camera and the first generation does not. Also, another thing to look is the trim. This one has a silver trim and this one has just a regular no trim, and actually makes it look a little bit sexier if you ask me. Right away you can tell how much thinner it is. More comfortable to hold this one since it's a little bit fatter and a little bit grippier versus this one. So now we take it to the right side. We don't have the docking station anywhere on this one, and this one does have it. On the bottom we see that we have our USB connections and the headphone jack in this area. And on the top you can see that there's a microphone right there, and we can see the speaker from up here, and then we have the headphone jack there. So this is the next part, is since we have the speaker down here for the Nexus, we also have the speaker down here for the Nexus Full HD. Tell you the difference is that, I've got a text message, look how ghetto this is. Now since we only have one speaker at the very bottom, we got a speaker there at the top, here on the bottom. Basically when I'm listening to this, we got the stereo effect where I can hear the sound from the left and from the right. I'm gonna actually put this on the top and I'm gonna match it up to right here, and then I'll scoot to the right side. You will see how much smaller, which is narrower than the previous version. When we stand them up, tall wise, it's actually taller for the Full HD. As you see, that's how much taller it is. Since it's a little bit fatter, it's easier to actually hit the button and turn on, versus since this is thinner, it's a little bit harder to reach, but it's still, you know, easy accessible. It's just that it's up on the ground, it's kind of hard to turn on, versus this one, it's just very easy to get to. So let's keep it this way. So the first generation is, as soon as I turn it on, you also notice the difference here. Since it's narrow, we got smaller bezels instead of having fatter bezels there. But here's why they leave bezels. We want it to be smaller and less bezels instead of having a fat border. That I am always a big fan of, but I came across to actually understanding why they keep the bezels on it. Now here, if I'm playing a game, for an example, if I put my hands here, look, I got comfort right here and I'm not touching the screen anywhere on the screen. So if I touch in here, you know, if I have my fingers on there, it's gonna disrupt the game, it's gonna freak out. Now here, since it's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit more riskier touching in there, but it's perfect enough to not even worry, and I think having it like that is fine. Since we have our little space here, let me unlock. There's our finger placements as well, so we can place it, and when we play games, my finger's inside the screen. Now when we lock this one, and we also have the placements here perfectly fine. And since they moved the camera from the middle to the top, it makes sense because now you don't have to block your camera if your finger's there, so you can hold it like this, because on this one the camera's right in the middle and you're kind of placing it right here if you're going to do video. I mean, you can do it this way, but it's a better placement since it's up higher instead of having to be like up here to record and stuff. This is also another way to determine how much bigger it is compared to the other one. Now if we actually look at how much thinner it is, that's how much thinner it is. So it is a lot thinner by a lot. Although we all love thinner things, smaller devices with bigger screens, you do lose some advantages from it. Like, it's a little bit too thin, and the fact that the bigger battery does not fit in here. So I rather would have a little bit thicker for better comfort and a bigger battery so it can last. Now both of these devices are rooted. I have them with custom ROM, which you see CyanogenMod. CyanogenMod is pretty much the best one to go to right now that is closest to stocks. I've always been into a heavy customizable operating system, but now I'm into more simplicity but with the pro features that I would want to customize with, so that's why I stick to CyanogenMod. And for tablets it's like perfect. And also the fact that it's running Android 4.3 Jelly Bean, so you got the best of it. Now I'm just gonna press here and you will see that it's very fast. The tablets are exactly set to how I want it to be, so I have it a little bit. Do you see this one? I put the outside of the box and this one I put inside of the box, so it's all running Apex launcher. That's one of my all-time favorite launchers in there. And since I don't have the buttons in the bottom, I have to swipe from the outside and press home and it goes into the home. Right now I just did the Google Now. Also dragging this back down, you will see that we got the same there, and you know, just fully customizable. Now the speed differences, I got another text. So basically this video is just showing you the outside difference. I'm not showing you the speeds because the speeds is for sure, this one's just faster, smoother. So I'm gonna try to zoom in here the best I can. Can't really tell I guess from here, but if this one has a 720p and 720p screen, which the screen is not has higher resolution of this one, has way more resolution, and pixels are just tiny where you can barely see them and just looks sexy, and just a really good screen. I mean, this screen had better resolution than the iPad mini and the iPad 2, and this screen just has so much resolution. It's just crazy compared to other tablets out there as well, as far as 1080p tablets go. Going into the settings, and then basically you see that this one just runs way faster and it's running the same ROM. Everything's pretty much the same. And we go about tablet. I mean, it's not too bad compared to each other. So is it worth upgrading from your 720p? Since I have it, I definitely love it and I don't regret buying it. But this one just does almost the same job. And since the first gen is running NVIDIA, you get more games that are more exclusive for NVIDIA only, Tegra tabs, and this one doesn't have NVIDIA, so I can't play certain games, even though it's way more powerful and can. It's just that NVIDIA Tegra made it more available for this one and not this one. That's the only kind of differences there. But will you go wrong with buying this tablet for around 150 bucks if you find it? I would say go for it, but if you want to spend the extra $230, sometimes you can get this one for $200 as low. And the viewing angles is much better as well. So on this one is still much better. Like the tint on it stays good. Like that one has a more purpley tint to it if you actually saw the angles, and I don't know if you can tell from this already, but it does have way better viewing angle. I'm gonna tell you the truth, when it was all stock, I did not get beautiful battery. I did not. I actually had some pretty crappy battery on this, so I rooted it. 6 hours of on-screen time on this, and standby is amazing as well, and the same ROM here, and I'm just getting way good. Let's see what we have battery here. Haven't charged it for 13 days, and I'm at 46%. Going to tablet idle, you see all that. And to the screen, doesn't have a lot of screen on time because it's just been sitting, but look how many days it's gone with that many battery left still. If we go on here, I use this one every day and even more now because I don't have my Galaxy S4 working. This is my go-to device. You see 4 hours, 44 minutes since I unplugged it, and we go on the screen and we have already 1 hour and 22 minutes of use, and I still got 59%. And like I said, I can go up to 6 hours, but my average would probably be like easily over 4 hours. So if you don't have a tablet yet and you're thinking about which one to get, I would say go ahead and get this one because it's newer, it's smaller, thinner, better screen, and it has a camera in the back if you wish that. But if you have a smaller budget and you want to have almost the same thing, here is this one for a lot cheaper, and it still does the job greatly. So that's just my take. I would recommend always protecting your tablets now with cases because I've already broken my Galaxy S4. I think you guys can watch the other video if you haven't seen it. And I have this case for my Nexus 7, the full HD. I have to say second generation because I wish they would have named it something else to make it easier than just 2014 or full HD. But this is the case that I am now 24/7 keeping it on. I just took it off for this video, and that's what it looks like. And there'll be cases like this for this, which is made by Cruiserlight if you want to check it out. All I got to say, and now this can finally leave my desk, get sold, because I need to make money to pay for my rest of the devices and apps and games and other gadgets that I buy. So there you guys have it, the Nexus 7s. Both are amazing tablets. Should you upgrade? I would say 40% no, 60% yes, because of the better screen. Also that little speed bump. Say farewell to my old one, and let's keep this guy. Alright guys, see ya later. Cheeto fingers. That's why you see it so red and orange. Cheeto fingers. Cheeto fingers.